In the quiet English countryside, emotions deepen, hearts grow restless, and destinies begin to intertwine. This is the story of love, pride, misunderstanding, and growing feelings. Welcome to Pride and Prejudice. Mr. Bingley and Mr. Darcy soon arrive in the neighborhood, and with them comes excitement, curiosity, and unspoken tension. Jane Bennet's gentle nature draws Mr. Bingley closer to her heart, while Elizabeth Bennet feels something far more complicated toward Mr. Darcy, a mixture of pride, irritation, and quiet curiosity. When Jane falls ill during a visit, Elizabeth walks miles through rain and mud to care for her sister. Her simple devotion shocks high society, but reveals her true character. In that quiet house, emotions grow stronger. Darcy begins to admire Elizabeth's strength, her honesty, her intelligence, even when she challenges him. But pride stands tall between them. Elizabeth believes Darcy is arrogant and cruel. Darcy struggles with his feelings, ashamed of loving someone outside his social class. Each misunderstanding builds a wall of silence, misunderstanding, and wounded pride. Then comes a surprising truth. Charlotte Lucas accepts a marriage proposal not for love, but for security. It shocks Elizabeth. She realizes that society values stability more than happiness. Love becomes a choice, not a feeling, for many women. After the shock of Charlotte's engagement, a strange quiet falls over Longbourn. Jane receives a letter from Caroline Bingley, shattering her hopes. The letter announces that their whole party has left Netherfield for London, with no plans to return. Even worse, it hints that Mr. Bingley is growing closer to Georgiana Darcy, Mr. Darcy's younger sister. Elizabeth tries to comfort Jane, convinced that Caroline is plotting to keep her brother away. But Jane, with her ever-generous heart, chooses to believe the best of everyone, even as her own heart breaks. Soon, Mr. and Mrs. Gardiner, Elizabeth's aunt and uncle, arrive for Christmas. They are a welcome relief with their kindness and good sense. Seeing Jane's pale face and low spirits, Mrs. Gardiner suggests a change of scenery. She invites Jane to return with them to London, hoping the distance might help her heal, or perhaps even lead to a chance encounter with Mr. Bingley. Jane agrees, a fragile hope flickering within her. Meanwhile, Mr. Collins returns to Longbourn to marry Charlotte. His presence is as awkward as ever, a constant, cringe-worthy reminder of what might have been. The wedding day arrives, a somber affair. As Elizabeth watches her dear friend Charlotte tie herself to such a ridiculous man, she feels a profound sense of loss. Charlotte, ever practical, seems content with her choice, urging Elizabeth to visit her soon at Hunsford Parsonage. Elizabeth promises she will, though her heart is heavy. With Jane in London and Charlotte now Mrs. Collins, Longbourn feels emptier. Jane's letters are disheartening. She has visited Caroline Bingley only to be met with cold civility. It becomes painfully clear that Caroline has no intention of letting her see Mr. Bingley. Jane finally admits to Elizabeth that she has been deceived, and her hopes are dashed completely. At the same time, another face from the past reappears, Mr. Wickham. His charm is as potent as ever, and he now turns his full attention to a Miss King, a young lady who has just inherited a fortune of £10,000. Elizabeth observes this sudden shift with a cynical eye. All his talk of being wronged and penniless now seems like a calculated performance. When she gently questions him, he offers flimsy excuses, and her high opinion of him begins to crumble. She realizes that his principles are just as flexible as anyone else's when money is involved. In March, Elizabeth travels with Sir William Lucas and his daughter Maria to visit Charlotte at Hunsford. The parsonage is comfortable, and Charlotte manages her new life with admirable composure, skillfully handling her husband's absurdities. Hunsford is adjacent to Rosings Park, the grand estate of the formidable Lady Catherine de Bourgh, who is not only Mr. Collins's patroness, but also Mr. Darcy's aunt. They are soon invited to dine at Rosings. The evening is an exercise in social endurance. Lady Catherine dominates the conversation with her intrusive questions and arrogant opinions, interrogating Elizabeth about her family, her education, and even her age. Elizabeth answers with a quiet dignity that surprises and slightly annoys the great lady. And then, the unexpected happens. Mr. Darcy arrives at Rosings for a visit, along with his cousin, Colonel Fitzwilliam. Elizabeth's peaceful visit is suddenly thrown into turmoil. She finds herself in Darcy's company almost daily, either at Rosings or during his frequent, and often silent, visits to the parsonage. Their interactions are tense and awkward, charged with unspoken feelings. Darcy seems to seek her out, yet when they are together, he often says little, merely watching her with an intensity that she finds both baffling and unsettling. Colonel Fitzwilliam, in contrast, is charming and easy to talk to. During one conversation, he unknowingly reveals a crucial piece of information. Darcy recently saved a close friend from an imprudent marriage. He boasts of Darcy's good judgment in separating the couple. Elizabeth instantly understands. He's talking about Bingley and Jane. All her simmering dislike for Darcy boils over into pure, unadulterated hatred. She now sees him as the sole architect of her sister's misery, a proud, arrogant man who delights in ruining the happiness of others. And she has no idea that this very man is about to make a confession that will change everything.